Ever wondered why Amish families do 80 loads of laundry every month when modern families manage with 8 to 12? It's not just quantity, but 6 to 8 hours of manual labor every Monday, managing 1,200 to 1,600 pounds of wet laundry without electric machines. This is domestic labor that modern washers eliminated, requiring physical endurance that would exhaust most modern women within hours and creating chronic pain that ages Amish women prematurely. Family size reality. The laundry volume begins with family size. Amish households average 8 to 10 people compared to modern American households averaging 2.5 people, creating more than 3 times the laundry before accounting for additional factors that multiply the difference even further. The typical Amish family includes mother, father, and 6 to 8 children ranging from infants to teenagers. Large family size means every aspect of household management operates at industrial scale. Daily outfit changes for 8 to 10 people generate 56 to 70 complete outfits weekly. Each person wears full outfits, daily dress or shirt and pants, underwear, and socks, plus work clothes for those doing farm labor. The work clothes create particularly heavy laundry because farming generates extreme soiling. Fathers and teenage sons' work clothes are covered in mud, manure, grease, and dirt. These garments require intensive scrubbing, pre-soaking, and multiple wash cycles. A single day's farm work can create 5 to 8 pounds of heavily soiled clothing from one person. The towels multiply quickly. Each person uses 1 to 2 bath towels weekly, meaning 8 to 20 towels. The kitchen uses 5 to 10 dish towels daily. Washcloths add another 50 to 100 items monthly. Bedding requires regular washing sheets for 4 to 6 beds every 1 to 2 weeks. The cloth diapers for families with infants generate staggering laundry. A baby uses 8 to 12 cloth diapers daily. A family with 2 children in diapers might wash 168 weekly, creating 3 to 4 dedicated diaper loads beyond all other laundry. The modern family comparison reveals the difference. A family of 4 generates 28 outfits weekly, 10 to 15 towels, and bedding for 2 beds every 2 weeks. Their total weekly laundry might be 6 to 8 loads monthly, totaling 24 to 32 loads. The Amish family's 80 loads represents 2.5 to 3.5 times the volume. No modern machines. The Ordnung prohibition on electricity eliminates washing machines and electric dryers that modern families depend on, forcing manual methods or gas-powered equipment requiring nearly as much physical labor. The electric washing machine is forbidden because it requires connection to the electrical grid, a technology the Amish reject as creating dependence on the outside world. The labor savings that electric washers provide, reducing laundry from 6 to 8 hours weekly to 1 to 2 hours, cannot be accessed while maintaining separation from modern technology. The gas-powered wringer washer represents a compromise some communities permit. These machines feature a gas engine powering an agitator that moves clothes through soapy water. However, they still require manual filling with hot water, manual operation of the wringer squeezing water from clothes, and manual emptying and refilling for rinse cycles. The gas wringer saves 30 to 40% of labor, but still requires 4 to 5 hours for Monday wash day. The traditional method using washboards and hand scrubbing remains common in conservative communities. The washboard is a corrugated metal surface mounted in a wooden frame. The wet soapy garment is rubbed against the surface, creating friction that loosens dirt. The scrubbing motion is repeated dozens of times per garment, creating thousands of scrubbing motions over a full day. The manual wringing extracts water by twisting fabric tightly. Each garment is twisted 2 or 3 times after washing and after rinsing. A sheet or pants weighs 8 to 12 pounds when saturated, requiring substantial strength to wring effectively. Wringing 20 loads means wringing 160 to 240 individual items, twisting 4,000 to 6,000 pounds of wet fabric through the day. The hand crank wringer provides mechanical advantage but requires physical effort. The woman feeds each garment through rubber rollers while cranking with her other hand. The cranking, repeated hundreds of times, creates shoulder and arm fatigue, and catching fingers in rollers requires constant attention, preventing injury. The physical toll is immediate and cumulative. Standing 6 to 8 hours on hard floors creates foot, leg, and lower back pain. Bending over wash tubs hundreds of times strains the back. Repetitive scrubbing stresses shoulders, elbows, and wrists, creating tendinitis and bursitis. Wringing overworks hands, forearms, and shoulders. Monday all-day event. Laundry Day is universally Monday across Amish communities, a tradition so established that the entire household schedule reorganizes around this weekly marathon. The day begins at 4:30 to 5 o'clock a.m. when Mother rises to begin heating water for first loads. The wood cookstove must be started, brought to temperature, and loaded with kettles of water, taking 45 to 60 minutes to reach 140 to 160 degrees needed for washing. Breakfast preparation happens simultaneously. Simple oatmeal or cereal made quickly because attention must be reserved for laundry ahead. Washing begins at 6 to 6:30 a.m. when first hot water is ready. Heavily soiled work clothes are washed first using hottest water and strongest soap, followed by progressively lighter soiled items as water temperature drops. The sequence continues throughout morning with loads processed in assembly line fashion. Work continues without substantial breaks through noon. Lunch is eaten cold or prepared the previous day because the woman cannot afford the hour that normal lunch preparation consumes. The family understands Monday lunch will be simple. The afternoon continues with later loads, typically least soiled items that can be washed in cooler water. Final loads are wrung and hung by 2 to 3 p.m. if everything proceeded smoothly, or as late as 4 to 5 p.m. if complications occurred. The daily load count is 18 to 22 loads, representing 80-plus loads monthly. Some Mondays might see only 16 to 18 loads. Others might reach 24 to 26 loads after rainy weeks creating muddy clothes or during harvest season. Water heating process. Water heating consumes 2 to 3 hours of wash day and represents significant labor and fuel cost that modern women never consider because hot water flows instantly from taps. The wood cookstove must maintain high heat throughout morning to continuously heat water. The stove is loaded with wood every 30 to 45 minutes to maintain temperature. If fire dies down, water heating slows dramatically, backing up the entire washing sequence. The water volume for full wash day is 630 to 770 gallons, 18 to 22 loads, times 35 gallons average per load. This quantity is roughly equivalent to filling a small above-ground swimming pool every single Monday. The water must come from a well with hand pump, a cistern collecting rainwater, or less commonly, a pressurized water system. The woman or children pump or carry water throughout morning. The carrying of water, multiple 5-gallon buckets weighing 40 pounds each, carried from pump to stove 20 to 30 times, constitutes significant labor. The transfer of hot water from stove to wash tub involves lifting heavy kettles of boiling water 35 to 45 pounds full and pouring carefully to avoid scalding. Multiple kettles must be emptied into wash tub to fill it adequately. The fuel cost for heating laundry water is substantial. A full Monday wash day consumes approximately 1/4 cord of firewood. At typical costs of $60 to $80 per cord, weekly wood for laundry water costs $4 to $6 or $16 to $24 monthly. Washing mechanics. The actual washing requires constant physical effort and attention, ensuring clothes emerge genuinely clean rather than simply wet. Sorting happens first, separating whites from colors to prevent color bleeding, separating heavily soiled work clothes from lightly soiled everyday wear, and separating delicate items from durable items that can withstand vigorous scrubbing. The scrubbing on washboards is intensely physical. Each garment is wetted, laid against the corrugated washboard, and scrubbed vigorously. The friction combined with soap breaks the bond between dirt and fabric. Heavily soiled areas, collars, underarms, knees receive extra attention with repeated scrubbing until dirt is visibly removed. The scrubbing motion is repeated 10 to 20 times per garment for normal items, 30 to 50 times for heavily soiled work clothes. A load of 12 items might require 150 to 300 scrubbing motions, and 18 to 22 loads means 2,700 to 6,600 scrubbing motions through the day. The wringing is the most physically demanding step. Each garment after washing is twisted and squeezed to remove as much water as possible before rinsing and again after rinsing. Wringing reduces drying time substantially, a garment wrung until damp dries in 3 to 4 hours instead of 8 to 10 hours. The rinsing uses clean water to remove soap residue. Garments are transferred from wash water to rinse water, agitated to flush out soap, then wrung again before hanging. Some items receive 2 rinse cycles if heavily soaped. The time per load averages 15 to 25 minutes depending on soil level. Lightly soiled items using gas wringer might take 15 minutes. Heavily soiled work clothes requiring hand scrubbing might take 35 minutes. Across 18 to 22 loads, washing itself consumes 4.5 to 8 hours, not counting water heating, setup, or drying management. Physical demands. The cumulative physical demands create exhaustion and pain that persist through the week, contributing to chronic conditions that age Amish women visibly faster than modern women. Standing 6 to 8 continuous hours on hard floors creates foot pain, leg fatigue, and lower back strain beginning within 2 to 3 hours and worsening progressively. Bending over wash tubs positioned at knee to mid-thigh height requires forward flexion of the spine hundreds of times. The repeated flexion stresses lumbar vertebrae and discs, creating chronic lower back pain affecting most Amish women by their 30s and becoming debilitating by 50s and 60s. The scrubbing motion uses shoulder, arm, and hand muscles repeatedly against resistance. The resistance from pressing fabric against washboard ridges requires force, and maintaining that force through thousands of repetitions creates microscopic muscle damage accumulating into chronic tendinitis, bursitis, and rotator cuff problems. The wringing motion overworks hands and forearms. Gripping wet fabric while twisting requires intense hand and finger strength. Repetition of wringing 160 to 240 items creates overuse injuries in hand and wrist tendons, leading to carpal tunnel syndrome, trigger finger, and chronic tendinitis, causing pain and weakness. The total weight of wet laundry handled through single Monday is staggering. 18 to 22 loads, averaging 16 to 24 pounds wet, equals 5,184 to 11,616 pounds, roughly 2.5 to 6 tons of wet. Laundry lifted, wrung, carried, and hung in single day. The chronic pain and premature aging is observable. Amish women in their 40s often appear a decade older with lined faces, stooped posture, and painful movement. The hands show particular wear swollen knuckles, bent fingers, and reduced range of motion from decades of wringing clothes. Drying logistics. Once washing is complete, drying presents its own challenges and weather dependencies that modern electric dryers eliminated. Clotheslines are strung between posts, trees, or building corners, creating long spans. A large wash day requires 100 to 200 feet of line, enough to hang 180 to 240 individual items with adequate spacing. The hanging process requires carrying wet laundry baskets from washing area to clothesline distances of 50 to 200 feet. Each basket weighs 30 to 50 pounds when full. Summer drying time is 3 to 4 hours in warm, sunny, breezy conditions. Morning washing means clothes hung by noon are dry by 3 to 4 p.m., allowing time to bring them in, fold them, and put them away before dinner. Winter drying presents serious challenges. In freezing temperatures, wet clothes freeze solid on the line within 30 to 60 minutes. This freeze-dry process through sublimation takes days or a full week, meaning several wash days' worth of laundry accumulate on lines simultaneously. Indoor drying racks create humidity, making homes damp. Moisture released by drying laundry condenses on windows and walls, potentially creating mildew. The racks occupy living space, making homes feel cramped. Drying time extends to 2 to 3 days for heavy items. Rain delays are frustrating. If rain threatens, everything must be gathered hurriedly before it's soaked again. Partially dried laundry then must be hung on indoor racks, extending drying time. The ironing is required for many items. The irons are heated on wood cook stove solid metal irons weighing 5 to 8 pounds that retain heat for 5 to 10 minutes before requiring reheating. Ironing a full wash day's items might add 2 to 3 hours on Tuesday or Wednesday. Children's contribution. Laundry labor is shared among female family members, with daughters beginning to help at age 8 to 10 and assuming full responsibility by age 12 to 14. Young girls